Hello. Welcome everyone to FPL Jedi Show, Gameweek 10. We are now looking at Gameweek 10 after explosive Gameweek 9. We'll definitely have a look at every matches. But first of all, my name is Hafiz, and today we have two panelists for the show. First, we would like to welcome Azmin. How are you, brother?
Fine, thank you. Good as always. Very happy. Enjoying the FPL, even though my score is not great. Not having Haaland. The no Haaland team is not doing well, but it's still happening. Fun.
Okay, great. And would like to also welcome back Afos to the stream. How's things so far?
Yep, things so far so good. Thanks for having me again in the show.
All right, good. I think last time Afos in the show is game week 3, yeah? And then we are now in game week 10, and a lot of changes have happened to his team since then. So we have a look at, I would like to welcome, as always, Slipknot 13. Tak sabar nak tengok line up pakar-pakar. Good vibes. Welcome to the stream. We'll definitely reveal our team.
Pakar-pakar di atas ni.
And then as always, Rakat FPS. Yes lah. Okay, thank you for joining the stream. We'll have a look at our talking points for Game Week 10. A lot to cover. First one is definitely we run through how our team did in Game Week 9. Okay, especially you can see on the right side that Norwegian guy, he shows 3 finger, 3 goals, 3 bonus point, and so on. Okay, later we touch about him. Anyway, have a look at match analysis, what happened during those 10 matches that played in Game Week 9. We also going to have a look at the numbers of the premium players, the stats, just to have a feel who are actually the premium players that we need to target if let's say you want to consider the second asset after Haaland. Then we touch a bit on Mitrovic replacement. You can see that question mark because Mitrovic has been sub off. I think around 39 minutes, where he's worried coming back game week 10. So just have a look who can be an ideal replacement for the Serbian player. Then we have a look at game week 10 fixture. I can reveal to you there'll be another blockbuster match for this week. The captain pick, we just have a look. As we know, Haaland will definitely the one that people will target, but we just have a look on the captain pick and then what's going to be our transfer plan for this week. So guys, I think I start with Azmin first, okay? Even though Azmin did mention he does not have Haaland, I think he suffered a lot from this game week. So maybe you share a bit on your team. Yeah.
Okay, so although I did Haaland, I did have Foden, who theoretically, also scored quite almost the same as Haaland. But the biggest, so Henderson, won, Forest lost big time to Leicester. Chelsea failed to keep a clean sheet again. Trippier have a nice clean sheet there. Alexander again disappointing. I think for most of us. And a lot of blanks. Ward-Prowse and just Martinelli did get assists, I think. Of course, the two Manchester City players I did return. But the biggest disappointment in my team was Tony blanking against Bournemouth, which is something I honestly totally did not expect to happen. So it's crazy thinking that an attacking team like Brentford was unable to score against Bournemouth. So I don't know whether this means that Bournemouth's defense is improving. I'm not sure. But it's still a disappointment regardless, because if I captain Foden, I would have 17 points more. So then Kane, who still managed to score against Arsenal, and unfortunately, after Spurs getting Emerson Royal sent off, it was always gonna be hard for them to score again. So the bench did only Sanchez, Henderson. So I mean, it's quite disappointing, but it all boils down to not having Haaland again. So almost a million rank drop. So that says a lot.
Okay, fair. But you still have Foden. You at least you right from that points, 19 points. Okay, whoever thought Foden and Haaland actually got
double hat-trick against
Double
Manchester United. And
Against-
here I was
yeah,
thinking that
Manchester
Manchester
Derby.
United had turned the corner, but then not against the quality of Manchester City. It's just too much.
Okay, I don't we definitely don't anticipate Foden score hat-trick, but here he goes. He has now got that mark, and I think if I'm right, this is his first double digit for the season. So definitely a lot of eyes, a lot of managers will eyes Foden. If let's say you want to fill out the third slot for Man City, I feel he's a good asset. Later we touch a bit on the matches when we go to match analysis. Okay. Other than that, I think you kept Tony captain, but as we know, Tony could easily got a goal. Later we touch on Bournemouth analysis. Okay, but Kane actually he continued to score against Arsenal. So I feel Kane really good asset moving forward. If we can partner him with Haaland up front, that's what I feel. Maybe investing up front is actually the way to go. So I think we go to Afos team next. He's actually in the 100 club for this week. So he's definitely a happy man. Afos, tell your story.
Okay, so basically the team, I'm happy with the performance. Obviously, three digit, 100 points club for game week 9. Wild cut game week 8. Bowen turns out to be providing returns in game week 9 finally. In this point, I would say that I'm very fortunate that Isaac is injured, because I would need to address him. Otherwise, I would have transferred Bowen out, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and the rest is pretty much all. Yeah, can't see. I don't comment. I'm very
Okay,
glad to
fair.
have these points.
You have Madison and Bowen. I think that's make a difference for this week. And then if let's say you have KDB still 8 points, and then Tony. I think that is the one that you replace with Isaac, right?
Yeah, correct.
So okay, fair. I think same price range, and Tony is the right player to bring in lah. Okay, the right option to bring in, unless you do like me who bring in Solanke in wildcard, but he's disappointed. But overall, I think yeah, your team is set up, especially game week 10 when we run through the fixture. So your rank jump, can you see 390,000 up now in 100k, almost just outside 100k position.
Yep.
As for my team, slightly lower, 86 point. Okay, to be fair, uh, everyone has Haaland. Who has Haaland, definitely captain him. If I captain somewhere else, it will be a much miserable night. I think before the Leicester game, okay, my rank is like 140,000. Drop, really
Mm.
drop. Then that medicine actually changed the game. I got a great arrow, but it's a slight one, but I still take it from 79,000 to 74,000. So that's much different. And to be fair, later we see the ranking. Actually, I and Afos, okay, just differentiate by 4 points or 5 points like that, and the difference is like 30,000 places. So that's close how the competition is. So especially whoever that feels around 100,000 or million, I think there's still time to salvage this season. Okay, just don't be so panic or like burden yourself in this position. There's still plenty time to recover. Guita, okay, fine, 1 point. It could easily be Raya, but I stick to Guita and see. Guita got 1 point. I will never think of playing White. He got 8 points on the bench. TAA Cancelo, Trippier, like everyone else has. He actually Newcastle did concede, but we got that points because Trippier has been subbed off at 82nd minute. So that's really lucky, I feel. Okay, 6 point plus one bonus point. Then Salah from 3-3 score against Brighton only got an assist. I can see he's continued to be in disappointing form, and we expect at least, I don't know, at least a double digit, but it's not meant to be. Okay, Medici Martinelli got an assist, and then yellow card, so 4 points. Zaha, okay, against Chelsea, but now we expect him to deliver moving forward. Solanke, 2 points. Bournemouth doesn't really perform, and I see the stats. He just only got one shot in that Brentford game. Later we touch. Haaland 46 points. Everyone captain him. Mitrovic, nothing. I think he's been yellow carded and then sub out due to injury. So later we touch whether if they say he's continue or Marco Silva reveal that he's going to be a long-term injury, then we need to think who to replace him. So that's overall in team review for game week 9. Okay, just see the team of the week. Okay, all 11 players except 2 players only has double digit. Meslia, the top performer, 11 points from his game against Villa. West Ham Carroll, 10 points. Senesi Bournemouth got 9 points. Clean sheet and 3 bonus points, I suppose. Cody, 9 points. Okay, because of his goal against Southampton. Whoever thought there are 3 players that had hat-trick game week 9. Trossard, 20 points. Foden, 19 points. And Haaland is the top performer of the week, 23 points, 3 goals, 2 assists, 3 bonus points. He has everything in game week 9. Madison, 18 points. Almiron, whoever thought, Newcastle, 15 points. He got 2 goals against Fulham. Bowen, 1 goal, 1 assist, 14 points. And then Firmino, of Liverpool player, Firmino is the one that getting the double digit. I think he got that 2 goals against Brighton. So overall, these are the team of the week. So I go to Azmin first. Who you want to touch? Who do you think that deserve to be mentioned?
Okay, firstly, Trossard, hat trick against Liverpool is no joke. Of course, Liverpool's defense is much weaker, but at the same time, you got to think that you got to wonder, are Brighton getting better without Potter under the new manager? So but in the FPL wise, definitely a pick to consider at the price range that he's at. He could be easy fit, for any team, so not an issue. Um, the other one I point out is Almiron. So after a few seasons of being quite mediocre, frankly speaking, it seems like Eddie Howe has uncovered this whatever secret it is that makes him finally score, because you saw he was such a frustrating player. He had the skills, but then it was always coming a lot of flack coming from the MLS, someone who might not make it into the Premier League, but somehow he's turned up, and Newcastle have looked much better. So yeah, and the last question, and this is maybe for you and me, Hafiz, because Afos already has him, which is now Bowen's broken his duck. Is he going to continue on? Is that what he needs? But because we saw last week with Son scoring a hat trick only to blank again. But to be fair, that was against Arsenal. But now will Bowen do the same and continue, or will he also, is it just a flash in the pan? So that's something that we need to figure out.
All right,
So that
fair.
yeah.
Fair. Maybe I pose that question to. Of course, he has Bowen, and looking at his fixture, West Ham, at least for the next two, Fulham and Southampton before they go to Anfield in game week 12 blank. So what do you think about Bowen, Afos, because you bring him in game week 8 wildcard? Do you feel, although you say you're lucky not to transfer him out, but you feel you already got 14 points from him? If let's say people wants to bring him in, what do you think?
Yeah, I think he's still one of the good asset FPL asset. He proven last season, but some of this season he started off bit poor. Only now he managed to catch up in terms of getting in terms of FPL points, getting goals or whatnot. At the moment, I feel that I'm going to hold him because I need to address my game week 12 issues. We'll see how things goes in the next maybe 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks.
All right, fair.
He is he is against Fulham and Southampton. Yeah, I was hoping that he'll get a goal or an assist against those teams.
Okay. I feel Bowen is strong pick because he already break his duck, Afos and Azmin. And as we all know, from West Ham team, who is the talisman? I feel Bowen is the one. He's on penalty, if I'm right, and he will take the set pieces. And I feel if they say you thinking about him, forget about his bad performance from before the international break. I think it's now his turn to start off. Especially he got the fixture Fulham and Southampton. That's what I feel. And touch a bit on Almiron, Azmin mentioned. I would like to stress his price is still low. It's 5 million plus.
Yeah,
Have you
agree.
consider an enabler? Okay. If you're talking about Andreas Bailey, I think Almiron is something that people should also.
Yeah, so just a quick one on the because you remember in the last week's wild cards, there were plenty of people tripling up on Newcastle players at first, but
Yeah,
until Isaac got injured, and then that changed to Pope and Trippier, and then Wilson was fit, but then people were wary about Wilson with his injury
whether or
issues.
not he
So
starts.
now and
Yeah,
then with ASM also always have here and there niggles here. Then Almiron suddenly pops up as a very attractive pick, especially with his price. He's even cheaper than all the players that we've met, all the other, the ASMs, the Isaacs, and the Wilsons. So there's even cheaper. So definitely, very attractive. Although you have to look at. I mean, it's a bit like Lingard, in his season with West Ham. People just held off on holding him in, thinking he's just going to go back to the previous history. And I think that's the challenge with Almiron as well. People are gonna, but we know last time it wasn't so great. So but if you have a spot, I think it's worth it.
Yep, I agree with you. Something to monitor and put, especially on our watch list. We go to match analysis. Key highlights for the game week 9. 4 home wins. Okay, out of 10, 4 teams are having home wins and 3 away wins. 6 teams are having clean sheets. And overall, I expect really high goal, but it's around average at 36 goal. Maybe because there are 2 matches end up nil-nil. So that's why it could easily be higher than 36 goal for this week. So we start off definitely the big match, Arsenal versus Spurs. 3-1 ends up the result. I think this is the fair result. If I can say, I did watch this match. Arsenal really dominating. Okay, and then to be fair, Arsenal should have they scored early, but then Spurs did come back from the penalty. But then I think truly that 3-1 reflect the game. Arsenal deservedly won. So I go to our first. You want to touch about Arsenal and Spurs asset? Which one that you attract most? Especially Jesus did score, Martinelli did still deliver assist, but Kane still pop up with a goal.
Yeah. For this case, I feel that Jesus is still one of the FPL asset that we, or at least in my case, that I feel I should not be selling him. It appears that he is still able to provide provide goals or at least an assist. He's still essential in terms of Arsenal attacking. And also Spurs, if you look back at the history, that Kane very much like to score against Arsenal in the North London derby. So yeah, I would like to have Kane moving forward, but yeah, at that price point, I don't think I'll fit in. I'll fit him in because of Erling Haaland.
Okay. All right, fair. I just want to touch a bit on this match, before I go to Asmin. Harry Kane goal has consolidated at second place in overall FPL points after Haaland. So Kane really we should consider in terms of his position right now. And this from this match also we can see I touch a bit on Zaka. Zaka did scored and he is now in the top 10 in terms of performing midfielder. So do you want to touch any one of them? I don't know, that's some stats that I read here.
Well, not so much Zaka, but Partey. I think Partey is the, because I don't think you're gonna see Zaka score that often, but Partey is scoring. I mean, he scored before last season as well. We've seen him score, and it could be this nice little unfancy option that could just get you goals. Afos, quick one. I know you have
Yeah.
Jesus, but Jesus versus Kane.
No, I don't have Jesus.
Oh, you don't have him, Jesus. Oh, sorry. Okay, so okay, never mind. So Jesus versus Kane. Who would? I mean, Jesus is obviously cheaper, but who do you think would score more by the end of the season?
Tough one, but in terms of value, I'll pick Jesus. Yeah.
Okay.
That price point difference of 3.4 you can spend elsewhere to upgrade your
Elsewhere, right?
midfields. Yeah.
Okay. I think the dilemma is because we have game week 12 blank where Arsenal and Man City. If not, people would definitely, if they say wildcard, definitely they will have Jesus in the mix. Jesus still up there in terms of ownership, right? 70%. Still, managers are having him.
Yeah.
Unless the wildcarders are not doing it because concentrating, and especially they have like so-called on paper 2 big match after this. For Arsenal only Liverpool, and then is it Southampton? Then after that blank. I think that's why, because they are facing Spurs this game week 9. So that's the 2 big matches that Arsenal having. So saying that, Azmin mentioned about Jesus in terms of value, but I still feel for now, Kane really we need to consider if let's say when you're investing. Later we touch on the premium players. We go to the next match, your team, okay, Liverpool versus Brighton. Yes, it's a high scoring game, but yeah, you can see there in terms of result, the big players like Trent, Salah are not there, and Luis Diaz was benched in this game. So this could strike really trigger to the managers that he's not really safe yet in terms of rotation.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, almost no one is safe at the moment from Liverpool rotation, simply because they're not playing well at the moment. They are not doing well, especially the defensive line. If you remember last time, we always tried on the fact that Firmino, he defends from the front. Is the exact play that we need. But then everything's looking too slow and too wasted at the moment. So now no one is immune from rotation, and by that very reason as well, I think we shouldn't be picking Salah at this point. Salah is almost a no now, because he's just failed to do what we expect him to do. It's just not happening for him. So yeah, and Trossard's hat trick, against Liverpool is still incredible. And I think Liverpool were fortunate to come back from going to that score.
Right.
Yeah, but at the same time, I got to give credit to Brighton, especially under the new manager. So now the question is, Klopp. I know that people like Diaz and who's the other guy? Nunez came back late from the South Americans, but what was the point of putting Nunez on with like a couple minutes before full time? What was that serve, just for him to get a run out? Because I think any football player coming back should be fit enough to play at least 15 minutes. I mean, we have 5 subs now, so what so you got to. I think fans are starting to question. Is Klopp still there? Does he? But of course the season is there's still plenty of time. But yeah, we are not looking good.
To be fair, Firmino did start and produced 2 goals, So should we put him in the team?
No, but the question is, why was Nunez not substituted in earlier?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yes, Firmino scored the 2 goals, but even that score was, I think, it was after we had gone down. So yeah, I mean, I don't think. I mean, we brought in Nunez to be a game changer, and we showed that he can do it. We've seen him do it at the start of the season before he had that sending off nonsense. But yeah, still, I mean, we'll have to see.
In terms of Brighton, okay, they scored 3 goals, but I'm still not sure. Is it because Brighton are good, or actually Liverpool are in the bad form? I need to see next game against Spurs at home. So we'll see how it goes. If let's say Brighton could also deliver against a game that maybe we should consider, especially when considered cheap or mid-range asset like Trossard. I don't think Gross start this game. Sorry, okay, he starts, but he put off 65th minute, so he's still uncertain in terms of minutes under the new managers. Okay, we go to the next match, Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. I saw this game. To be fair, Chelsea still not fluid in terms of their attacking. Crystal Palace did score first from a nice cross Ayew, and then Edward did score. But then I think Chelsea continued to brought the balls up front, and they got opportunity. Thiago Silva was fortunate not to be red-carded, so-called. They mentioned the last man when he touched the ball. Okay, really made Vieira angry on that decision. Aubameyang scored from his assist, and then whoever thought Gallagher back from his loan at Crystal Palace, he actually pop up with that winner goal. I saw that last minute, and suddenly it comes back to my mind when Lingard scored against West Ham. So that's the situation on the lonely guy. So,
Yeah.
Afos, in terms of Chelsea versus Crystal Palace, what do you think? Any Chelsea asset that interests you, especially on the attacking side?
Not, I don't, I don't think so at the moment. But I'm starting to question about James, in terms of his performance. I think in terms of defensive wise, Chelsea has been conceding
Yep,
all games, and
fair.
yeah,
Yeah, he doesn't
so
keep clean sheet. I think only once. Yeah.
yeah, I think maybe the first game that, but the rest of the game, they conceded one or two goals. So yeah, kind of wondering if it is not for his quite high ownership, I would have let it go,
Yeah. No
James.
clean sheet. One clean sheet first game.
Yeah,
Okay. We go to the next match, Fulham versus Newcastle. To be fair, Fulham lost this game by a big score because one of the player has been sent off, and
send
then
off. Yep, correct.
the floodgate opened. Newcastle scored tremendously from Albiron, 2 goals. Callum Wilson put his mark again. Okay, he could easily got more than 1 goal. Willock got 2 assists, right? Yeah. Bruno G come back. He got an assist, and Bournemouth an assist also. But the big one, Mitrovic, injured and sub off early, so that's we are not sure about his position. Callum Wilson, I want to touch Azmin. What do you think? If let's say Mitrovic, later we touch about Mitrovic, but Wilson put his mark.
No, see, this is the problem and the ongoing dilemma with Wilson. He can come in and just score. So, and that's what he did. Comes in again, scores again. And then okay, let's wait. And then another match, he scores again. Okay, let's put him in. 1 week later, he gets injured. So, it's really really frustrating to see. And I think Eddie Howe really needs to, for one thing, if he needs to really ensure that he keeps like relatively injury free, is one thing that he can't play 90 minutes every match. He's got to be subbed. And same with Alan Saint Maximin. These are two players who they are quality, but they need to be their minutes need to be managed. So otherwise, it's gonna. I mean, there's so much potential with this Newcastle squad now, even though it hasn't been filled with big star players. Isaac is probably the bigger one after Gomez. But there is enough quality, but it just needs to manage that, because there's so many fragility. And now Gomez previously also got injured as well. We saw how Newcastle were unable to win without him for quite a few matches, five or six matches. Yeah, but for Fulham, you can see a bit of fragility there and some cracks beginning to show. And now with Mitrovic injured, who knows?
And the one thing also at the touch, I think the main man Palinha did suspended this game, so that might play a factor. But he will be back the next match. Okay, so I touch next one. Of course, Southampton versus Everton. We do expect, I don't know, something get at least a win again, but Everton, okay, did come back from 1-0 down and then win 2-1 from a quick turnaround. Cody scored, McNeil Iwobi assist. Gordon did not start this game because of illness. Okay, but is there any potential from these two teams that you feel managers should consider, Southampton and Everton?
Uh, I think I'll look at Everton at the moment. Their play is quite, I would say, relatively cheap. They are improving in terms of defensive wise. They started winning, but they only conceded only one goals for the past like five games or so. If I'm good to have an asset from Everton, maybe one of the defender or one of the midfielder as an enabler, most probably.
Okay, but Everton match, I look at the next two is a tough one.
Yeah,
Manchester and
it's a tough
Spurs.
game.
and then follow up by Newcastle in game week 12. So I feel if let's say you want to consider maybe after that where they have
Yeah.
Crystal Palace, Fulham, Leicester, and then Bournemouth. So maybe something that we can think of lah, but not interest. I go to Azmi because he has JWP, right?
Yeah.
So
So
what do you
yeah,
think?
so I
Interesting.
bought in JWB the week before, but it's been a disappointing thing for him. He hasn't recovered. But the thing with Everton is, I mean, who else is surprised how Everton's defense has improved so well this season, and partly it's down to, I guess, a bit of luck for Lampard managing to secure Tarkowski, who got relegated by with Burnley, as well as
Burnley,
Cody,
yep.
who Wolves didn't want. So
Wolves.
and
Yep.
then you add who's that guy in midfield?
Onana, is it? Siapa?
Idris
This
Gueye.
guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So with that combination, that defense just suddenly looks strong, and I remember I was worried that without no, it's not Everton, was it? Yeah. So I've been proven wrong from the start of the season about Everton, and definitely, although to be fair, it still doesn't look great for in terms of finding picks for FPL, but I wouldn't consider them whipping boys, to pick
Yep.
players to play against. Yeah,
Yep.
so that's where the difference is, isn't it?
Yep.
So yeah, so and hence, yeah,
Yeah, another
Southampton not
option that I can say from Everton, Pickford, 4.5 keeper, and let's say he got really a lot of saves. And after that, if let's say we can consider, I think still cheap enough, and Everton also becoming more stronger after the early season. So
Mm.
that's what I feel. We go to the
Yep.
next match, Bournemouth versus Brentford, end up nil-nil. Okay, but when I see the stat, especially Tony owners, they maybe unlucky not to get something because 5 shots by Tony, 4 inside the box, 1 big chance. And actually, to be fair, the keeper of Bournemouth, Neto, made some crucial save. So that what I feel. I go to Alphonse. Uh, Tony got 1 point, right? Yellow card, I suppose.
Yep. 21. Yep. Yellow card.
So what do you
Yeah.
think
During
about Tony? Yeah.
during yeah for this match, I think the what you call the third striker or the third spot for forward, it all boils down to is either Tony versus Solanke, because I think Solanke was one of the favorites to be brought in for game week 9 wildcarders because of Bournemouth
Matchup.
excellent fixtures run. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the thing is that to end up nil-nil is quite shocking. I would think that it is an open game,
Okay, okay.
to
Please,
say the least.
although I'm bringing Solanke, please don't bring him in. I just want to share stats. I saw Scoutcast before coming in. Bournemouth is the bottom team at the bottom, the last team in terms of expected goal. And
Yeah.
Solanke only got 1 shot in that game. So I know he's 90 minutes man. I know he has potential on taking penalty, but if you can go somewhere else, I suggest maybe some other player should be given
Yeah,
this. But
which
although
is
Bournemouth face Leicester after this, so I don't know. Leicester has been winning also last game, so
yeah,
that's the
things that
situation.
which is why I decided to brought in Tony instead of Solanke for my
Yeah.
eyesight replacement, because looking at his stats, but I don't know why the love for Solanke for game week 9. In terms of stats wise, yeah, Tony is much more better attacking shots inside the box and everything. But yeah,
Come on, please
he's very
defend yourself.
he's very unfortunate.
I defend because I need money.
Yeah,
So
that's the only point.
yeah. So
Your
okay,
third striker is that
I
you
give
save
him
for someone
another
else.
chance against Leicester. Okay, I know Leicester is so-called the team that really attacking and letting goals in left, right, center. So we'll see how it goes the next game. We go to West Ham versus Wolf. Okay, this is the match in midnight, and not a lot of love because West Ham didn't belong. But this is where Bowen came back. Bowen got a goal, and they said a fluke assist. Well, we'll take it, right? And then
Yeah.
We'll
Samaka,
take it.
So
We'll
what?
take it.
I did see the highlight. And I said, "Is that an assist?" I said, "Oh, it's just like a touch here, right?" Okay, fine. That's how FPL is. Bowen got an assist, and then Samaka did start this game, right? And then he got that goal. So maybe I don't know whether he's at something that we need to monitor. But then this game just made loss to Wolves, and then Bruno Lage sacked. So I think that's the story for this game. Azmin, you want to share a bit on this West Ham versus Wolves?
Oh, firstly, I didn't see that. Did anyone see that Bruno Lag sacking coming?
No, no.
I definitely
Yeah,
did it.
yeah.
It was quite a like,
Yeah.
why? And okay.
Right, right, right. I think Wolf okay fine is there, but still Wolf still a decent team, and he should be given time.
I don't know. I mean,
Wolves is not in the. I don't think he's in the position that you need to sack
yes, yeah. I thought
sack
Gerard
him.
would be among the ones who sacked
Yeah,
before,
exactly.
but then somehow he's still there. And
Yeah, and
uh,
suddenly,
excuse me. Yeah. Uh yeah, I guess. But the problem with Wolves is that the same problems is that their attack is not scoring enough goals. Yeah, I think we've been having this problem since the start of the season. And remember that I keep mentioning this again, how everyone was so many people were jumping on Neto at the start, thinking he'll come out after a great preseason, but then
yeah,
in the end it hasn't happened. So yeah, I guess, but credit to West Ham. So now the question is, as mentioned earlier, is Bowen going to push on, and is Antonio now, is no longer an option? He's getting too old, slow. Yeah.
Yep, Samaka already coming into the frame, so we'll
Mm.
monitor. We'll see the European Conference League match whether Antonio starts that one as Samaka rested, so that could tell a different story. We go to the next one, the big match, Manchester Derby, Man City versus Manchester United. Definitely, I will go to our force. Okay, Man City scored 6 goal. Man City dominated. Haaland, yes, we expect some return, but a hat trick is something that he's capable of, and he did that. But I think Foden scored hat trick. Consider KDB also continue to perform. He did not get any bonus point. He could easily get those 2 assists because Martial scored 2 goals and he got 1 bonus point. And then,
yeah,
what do you want to say about this match, Afos?
yeah. Okay, Manchester Derby. I watched this game uh, throughout the whole game. It's like I don't know whether to get excited because I captain Haaland or get sad, to be sad because as a Manchester United you get trashed by Manchester
Fair,
City.
fair, 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 fair,
Yeah.
fair.
The thing is that I don't feel that MU played a bad game. Just that City is on a different level.
Yes.
Totally. Yeah. It's not like Manchester United against what you call Brentford when they lost 4-0. That was a very
Mm.
poor performance. Don't think MU's performance was that bad. Just that
So
City was
basically,
too
Man
good.
City is another level lah. Okay,
Yeah,
and
City was too good.
to be frank, I think if they say us partnered with Liverpool, Arsenal, or even Chelsea, we could actually suffer the same result because we are still like developing.
Struggling. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So just touch a bit on Manchester United. Anthony did at least scored a goal. He's the most, I think, exciting player in that pitch for Manchester United. What do you think about Anthony?
Yeah, Anthony, because he just started playing in Premier League. I think he wanted to prove himself as one of the exciting player, or wanted to prove him to be fit in, to be capable of scoring goals in Premier League. Yeah, he's different than the rest of the City United. He is very, I would say, thirst for goals, but his position, I think he's fighting with Marshall, if I'm mistaken. Rashford's playing up front. It's either Anthony or it's fighting with Rashford, because if Rashford playing right, then Marshall playing top. Anthony might get benched. But in terms of FPL asset, I'm kind of interested on having Marshall instead, because
Oh,
now that he's back, he's super sub, scored
Okay.
2 goals. We'll see how things goes.
Yeah, the Champions League will, sorry, the Europa League, yeah, will
Europa, yep.
monitor, yeah, the situation. Go to the next match, Leeds versus Villa. Sinistra, right? Red carded. Who ever thought in this game? And people are thinking about him. Dyson Rodrigo did start, not Bamford. So what you can say about this match, Ming?
yeah. So yeah, I was really thinking that Leeds was going to push, roll over Villa, but that hasn't happened. So Villa a bit late, but like Everton, they seem to have discovered some defensive steel. And even if you remember, I was talking to you that without Cash and Digne, it looks that Villa defense started a lot fragile, but unfortunately, it's not fragile enough that Leeds was able to exploit. So it's not looking great in terms of picking FPL picks from either of these teams until we see some, for at least from Leeds, that we saw previously, and whether or not they can find that Rodrigo explosiveness that we saw at the start of the season.
Yep. Okay, we go to the last match, Leicester versus Forest. We did expect big things from Leicester. As said, did not disappoint. Madison got 2 goals, 1 assist. Barnes, if you have him as double up, you got a goal. Daka, which like I mentioned, rotation risk. Yes, he come on and get a goal. So everything, nothing to dislike about Leicester. I think Leicester I said turn around, and now definitely people are monitoring about Madison. He's still at 10% ownership. Of course, what do you think?
Yeah, in terms of having Leicester asset, Madison is the one to have. I would say he's the talisman for Leicester. He's great at crossing, creating chances, and also he scored free kicks. Yeah, if
The
we could
only thing
exploit.
he doesn't have is penalty, right? That's all.
Yeah, penalty.
Hmm.
Only
So
penalty.
other than that,
Direct free
he's,
kick he took. Yeah,
yeah, I think he's really the asset to get from Leicester. Leicester have fixture swing, yeah, all good until 16. I suppose, right? Let me check. Yeah, only Man City at game week 14. Other
yeah.
than that, they are
Game week
good.
40.
Yeah,
Yeah, the rest of the fixtures like Burnham, Crystal Palace,
okay,
Leeds, Wolves. Yeah,
right.
he can easily score another brace against Burnham.
We shall see. We shall see. Or give chance one Solanke goal lah. Okay. Anyway, I want to touch about Forest team. Azmin, I go to you because you have Henderson, the likes Henderson, and so on for Forest. Doesn't look great now, and Steve Cooper position has been questioned. So, what do you think about Forest now? Are they the weeping boy?
Okay, so I think Forest, if you remember, like Watford a few seasons back when quite a while back actually, when they came in, that when they got promoted, they bought so many players. So
Yes.
so Forest are now did the same, and now who knows what the best team is, and they keep moving things around, trying differently, and they don't know what fits, and it's for me it's hurting them. And of course, there's a when you have so many players that you brought in, is that dressing room is going to be unsettled as well. Everyone's trying to who's going to play over the other. So it's not looking good for us. Of course, although I had Henderson, but in the end, it didn't really much make a difference between Henderson and Sanchez. So it's just 1 point difference. But yeah, so the battle of the bottom sides, Leicester was able to come clean, but whether or not they can do it against the better sides is still a problem. But uh, as you mentioned earlier, Madison is still the standout pick
Yep.
for Leicester. I mean, he's the most consistent player at this moment compared to everyone else in the team. So yeah, definitely,
I
if you have
agree.
Madison, just bring him along for the ride. And I think
I,
he may even be angling for transfer after the season
yeah.
if it goes like this.
To be fair, he could
Yep.
actually take this advantage of matches, putting himself for the England pick if let's say he has a chance. I think this is the run that he needs to in terms of World Cup chance. Hopefully, we don't know about Southgate, but these are where Madison can strive. Okay, so let's go to the next topic on the premium players. We just want to touch a bit. I actually extract this data from Scout in terms of goal attempts and assist potential for the premium players 10 price tag 10 and above. Okay, so we can see there the likes of Haaland, Salah, De Bruyne, Kane, Sterling, Son, and Ronaldo. Even though he's not been playing, but he's that in that kind of bracket. We can see that in terms of goal attempts for the past 4 matches, Haaland is the one in terms of attempts, in terms of goals 5 goals, attempts 11, the highest anyway, inside box, big chances 9 and 2. And then after that, okay, even though people don't feel that Salah is an option and has been woeful form, Salah still there in terms of goal attempts. 10 attempts, 7 inside the box, and 2 big chances. The only thing that he has is goal. That's where the difference or people why talking about him. KDB, even though he did not has goals, but his attempts still high, 9 attempts and 2 inside the box. Kane has the same attempts as KDB. Then after that, Sterling, Son, and Ronaldo up to. So that in terms of goal attempts. When you go to assist potential, again, we can see Man City asset, but this time is KDB on top in terms of assist potential. Okay, he got 11 assist potential, and then after that, Salah again is there in terms of stats. So we can see that Salah, KDB are among the top 3 in terms of premium players stats up here. So I go to Azmin. What do you think?
Yeah. So okay, I don't think there's anything to talk about Haaland. Okay.
Yep, I
Um,
agree. But
so
how about the second spot?
yeah. So second spot, yeah, definitely. I mean, in the challenge between Salah, KDB wins hands down at the moment. I don't think, because of he's in a all-rounded team. So the only concern with KDB is that now that with the likes of Foden and Haaland free scoring now, I think KDB doesn't feel the need to become another striker. So yeah, so that is the problem with FPL picking KDB. Plus, when you consider the fact that he's not cheap either, he's a premium player. So
Yep.
it's hard. It's hard. But then but this sorry, coming back to what I wanted to talk in Manchester City, but I missed out. Because we're looking at tripling up on City players. Is Cancelo still a good FPL pick? Should we go to KDB, Haaland, and Foden instead,
Foden.
for example? Yeah. So I don't know, but
Okay.
yeah. So that's the thing. KDB second with the caveat.
Okay, fair. I go to Afos from here. Salah still there, although I'm not going to venture about in terms of his form, but the stats says that Salah still deliver in terms of attempts and assist potential, even though he's not performing. So what do you think, Afos?
Yeah, think that the stats in terms of attempts, quite. I mean,
And we can see there
it's a
in terms of penalty touch, Salah is top actually, 29 over Haaland or even Sterling.
yeah, he plays inside the box a lot. But the thing is that ever since Mane is gone, it's just that the defenders now focusing on him a lot. That I think that is why he can't convert much. He did have a lot of attempts, but just that the ball did not convert into goals.
Okay. So I feel if let's say we can see here, I think the two assets that we should have is definitely Haaland, and the second one, KDB. We can see that in terms of attempt, he's still in the top 3 and assist potential. My God, you can see there he's top, and even I can see there in terms of big chances created, also he's the highest, and in terms of crossing, he's also the top. So I think he's the one to get. Let's go to the next topic. It just touched about Mitrovic replacement if he's been declared injured. I got this stats from Fantasy Football Hub in terms of points prediction for the next 4 games, 10 until 13. And I come out here 6 lists of 7.5 bracket striker that potentially can replace Mitrovic. Up top is Callum Wilson with prediction of 18.8 points. Then Solanke, I don't know, 18.2. But then Martial also there now pop up with 6.9 million. Is actually that price at 17.6 points. But then after that, Watkins and Mope and Welbeck, we can see there no Tony. I suppose maybe because he has some tough fixture, that's why I predicted point him a bit low. So I go to Afos. What do you think, Afos, if let's say you already have Tony, you have Haaland, and you have Mitrovic that you need to replace?
Yeah, because at the moment my balance doesn't allow me to get Wilson or Watkins. I only have 6.9 if I let go what do you call Mitrovic. Mitrovic at the moment my price is at 6.8. I have a 0.1 balance. So at the price point of 6.9, I only have the option of either Solanke. That will save me a lot to upgrade elsewhere in the future, or to have Marshall as a one-to-one replacement. But definitely I would love to have Wilson since Isaac is now injured. I think ASM still injured. He might be the one to be focusing on in terms of attacking. And also, if it is not for Wilson, I might get Watkins because his next game is against
Yes,
Forest, I
Forest.
think. Yeah, who knows? He
Right.
might score a lot of goals, brace, or maybe suddenly hat trick.
Fair. Villa got Forest, but then after that Chelsea. So there's a
Yeah,
caveat.
it's like
So
one week punt. Yep.
I go to Azmin. Do you think Wilson is the one? If they say you have the money, 7.5 bracket down, although you did touch about his injury record, but what do you think?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. So I mean, and honestly, Mope could be very fascinating for me because he does seem to be doing the job for Everton, and I think he's going to pretty much be the main striker for Everton. In the absence of any other options, any other real options there. So yeah, so I don't know. I mean, but and at the same time, I want to consider Martial as well
Okay.
because Martial could be someone different that we could look at making me because if Manchester United, even though they lost against City, but there is some potential in that Man United attack. I see.
Okay, fair. Good point. So I think these are things to consider. Wilson, not much love of Solanke unless you need the money. Martial could come into frame. But if you want to do a 1 week punt, Watkins, why not against Forest this week? I think that's those things that to consider. We go to game week 10 fixture. We are almost at 1 hour mark. This week fixture, we can see starts at 10 p.m. on Saturday. Okay, so we definitely have a late deadline. Okay, Bournemouth against Leicester. Okay, Bournemouth really wants the points up front, in front of their crowd, but Leicester had got their win, their tonic win against Forest. Then Chelsea versus Wolves, where we can see Diogo Costa returning to their old club. Costa did play against West Ham, and who knows, he could actually like return back and score a goal. Then Man City versus Southampton, I think that as a green one on paper. Okay, definitely a lot of interest on Man City as a and definitely when we talk about captain pick on Haaland. Newcastle versus Brentford. I think interesting match. Both are a decent team. We go to in the midnight Saturday 12:30 Brighton versus Spurs. Brighton flying after 3-all draw with Liverpool against Spurs who drew in Champions League match last night. Okay, then Crystal Palace versus Leeds and West Ham versus Fulham on Sunday at 9 p.m. and then the big one, Arsenal versus Liverpool at 11:30. We got 2 a.m. match on Sunday, Everton versus Manchester United. Okay, I don't know whether Afos will wake up and see that match. And then on Monday night, again Forest, but this time around they face Villa at home. So I go to Azmin, which Arsenal versus Liverpool is the big one, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. So let's just quickly say Manchester City Southampton could be a mauling. You know that your Southampton can always end up on the wrong side of these huge score lines. So this could be it for this season so far. We'll see. Yeah. So I see you haven't ticked Arsenal versus Liverpool there. I'm not. So the question is, why haven't you? Because I
On
think
paper,
Arsenal,
it's gonna be a very tight match.
I think Arsenal will score at least probably 2 or 3 goals.
It's definitely
Because-
open game, I suppose. Yeah.
yeah. But at the same time, yes, Liverpool will score as well. So I just think that it's not the time to ditch your. But I think the thing is, a lot of people in the wild card they've ditched plenty of their Arsenal assets like Jesus, and just keeping a hold of the still underpriced Martinelli.
Martinelli, yeah.
Yeah, so that's fine. Brighton versus Spurs. That I feel that match is gonna be tougher than it looks. Yeah, I think under the new manager, they seem to have passed the trial by fire with Brighton at home. So obviously, it seems that the players are responding well to their new manager, and if they can score 3 goals against Liverpool, let's see how they do against Spurs. Spurs we saw last week, they still susceptible to these disciplinary issues at the back. So yeah, it could be it. It's not as straightforward as it looks. Chelsea versus Wolves. So Wolves, we got a new manager. I don't think he'll come in yet. If he does, I think there was rumors that he'd be the Sevilla manager. I cannot pronounce his name, Lopetegui or something.
Yeah.
But I don't think whoever it is gonna come in just for enough in time.
So it could be a manager's team,
It could be a what? Sorry.
Manager's team without a
Yeah.
manager. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Let's see what happens. And yeah, so Diego Costa, he did.
We'll definitely have a warm welcome when he enter the pitch. Definitely, people like him. I personally also like him, even though the defenders might not during his playing time. Okay.
Yeah, right until he gets Reece James or Thiago Silva sent off.
It will be a better Silva versus Costa if he play that game. Okay, definitely.
But Chelsea, it'll be Kepa, right?
For now, because Mendy not fit, but we shall see on the press conference whether Potter will mention about Mendy fit, and then we shall see.
So the matchup that I want to mention there is that Newcastle Brentford match. Newcastle could, looking at the form Newcastle are in again, Newcastle could really lay one on Brentford and just go from strength to strength.
All right, good. I go to Alphonse. You want to mention anyone? Everton, Manchester United.
Yeah, Everton versus Manchester also. Yeah, as an MU fan, I'm hoping that the team will rebound after last week loss in the derby. But of course, among these fixtures, the most interesting one that we are hoping to have a high scoring game is City versus Southampton. That for sure that a lot of managers will be captaining Haaland for this week.
Right, I'm pretty excited this game. Especially Arsenal versus Liverpool. I want to see whether Yeah, we expect like me. I have two assets from Liverpool to perform. They did win against Rangers, Tunia, and Trent and Salah did score in that game.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's now becoming a very nervous time for me whenever I sit down to watch a Liverpool match.
Okay,
um,
especially against a really, really decent side as Arsenal right now.
yeah, a
Yeah,
free flow attacking team, goal
yeah,
scoring team like Arsenal right now is. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Um,
I agree.
I'll just hope for the best. It's a Sunday night, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah, I
I,
would definitely see that. Just a quick go turn on Captain Pick. We know what people are voting, but we just want to run through. Haaland 86% media has voted him. Then the second one is Madison at 5% against Bournemouth. KDB there 2% for them, but not so much. We can say Haaland is the one. People, no doubt, he is the one. But can we say if they say the second option or vice captain who's next if they say we want to consider? I go to Afos first.
For for me, I would advise KDB. I think most likely.
Okay, so as easy as that, Man City versus Southampton. I'm looking forward. Is it tonight, Man City game? Yes, yes. We'll see the lineup. If Haaland is rested, oh, definitely he will start this game. Okay, but we not sure. Azmin, what do you think?
I don't think he'll get rested. I think he seems to be fine the way he's going. My vice pick again is also a City play, but it'll probably be Foden. Um, simply because he I feel he's getting into better goal scoring positions. Having said that, KDB's all round play is incredible. His vision. I mean, you may this uh Haaland goal assist KDB combo is going to be we're going to see a lot more of this happening. I mean, you
Yeah,
saw the pass, the assist for Haaland's second goal, was it?
yeah.
Was
The pass was insane, right?
oh, blew my mind. Oh crap!
Yeah, I
And,
was
and
like,
it wasn't
wait.
the yeah, he had the amazing pass earlier in the season as well, also to Haaland, and so I think they've got that dynamic to get working. So Haaland is now the Salah from two seasons ago. He's the must pick option now, and I've been a fool for 9 weeks, but now I've finally come to my senses, and it's
All
Haaland.
right, we go to transfer plan next. But before that, we run through the fixture ticker. Game week 10 until 16. It is where Crystal Palace after Chelsea game, they really have all the blue or green fixture coming up, starting with Leeds, Leicester, Wolves, and Everton. Bournemouth still there, okay. Leicester, Fulham, Southampton in the next three. Everton coming into frame, even though Manchester and Spurs are the next two, but after that should be fine. Manchester United in the top four in terms of fixture ticker, Everton, Newcastle, and then sandwich between Spurs and Chelsea. After that, West Ham, Villa, and Fulham. We go on the bottom, okay, Arsenal blank and Man City blank in game week 12. That's why their fixture ticker are a bit down. But tough also for Southampton, like except like JWP, Man City, Arsenal, and Liverpool inside that next 7 or 8, 7, 6 game weeks. Then Liverpool down there, Arsenal, Man City in the next two, which is why it's tough and down there. So how about this fixture ticker? What you are focusing, what you like, what you want to stress out? I go to Afos first.
Uh, because my slot is only open for Mitrovic's position. I don't know. Is but based on this fixture ticker, is the most likely to bring in is Solanke because of a good nice fixture, but his stats doesn't look good at the moment.
Okay, Azmin.
Okay, so yeah, obviously the problem with City and Arsenal is they playing game week 12. Um, my question to you, Hafiz, is City plays Southampton. You gonna do
Yep.
anything about that and bring in a third City player or just
Yep. It's
tahan?
very tempting. For now, if possible, no. bar any injury, I will keep the same team, but we shall see later. I
Okay.
know KDB and Foden has come to frame to be an option the third slot. I feel it is the right answer, to be fair, KDB or Foden. Just
Yeah.
you need to sort out your combo, what is the right one, and
Yeah.
decide from there. Yeah.
So you got a couple of people at the bottom of the ticker, and that includes Liverpool. So again, that's a question because you can easily sell Salah for someone. I mean, I just putting it in there. But anyway, putting up top, yeah. So you got Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, and Everton, and but the problem with these teams, except for Crystal, you probably Zaha is a Zaha or nothing. But Bournemouth, Everton, it's not great for the attacking options out there. It's quite limited. I mentioned Mope earlier, but against, but then when you look at Manchester United, Spurs, and Newcastle, or even Crystal Palace, those are hardly very easy matchups to get through for a striker. So I wouldn't go there either. And I mentioned Martial as an option, which and you can see as the fourth best. But look, but fourth best, you're facing Everton, who are defensively strong, Newcastle, who look good now. Then you have Spurs. So it's again, it's not attractive enough for me. Of course, you're mentioning about your replacement for
Mitrovic.
Mitrovic. Yeah. So I I don't have an answer for you, bro.
Yeah, I
I
don't have
don't.
answer for myself. No, it's either Solanke or Mope or
Um,
Martial.
Maybe I can share with you in terms of Villa, at least for the next four. Forest, Chelsea, yes, stuff, but Fulham and Brentford, maybe? I don't know.
yeah. Can you afford that, Mitrovic to Watkins?
Say it's still same
No,
side bracket if you have some budget lah. If you have some budget, because
Okay,
he's at
because
7.2, right?
yeah, because now that I look at it,
7.2.
I agree with Hafiz, even though they're not that far, not really on top, but then Forest are conceding like no one's business. Chelsea are conceding. Fulham are not looking great at the moment either, and then you have Brentford, who, well, they'll be a bit more unpredictable, but I guess the only problem with Villa is that last week they didn't score.
Hmm.
Yeah, they still
Against
blanked.
Leeds, yeah.
Yeah,
Fair,
against
fair.
Leeds. So yeah,
Against a 10-man Leeds, right?
yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We go to our team, main. I go to your team first. I think you already made your move.
Okay, so the reason, so I obviously haven't moved the captaincy over yet, but the reason I made the move immediately to Haaland, because I know that after what happened during the weekend, if I wait, come Friday, I'll be again coming up with some other argument to not bringing Haaland, and it just doesn't make sense. So if Haaland suddenly gets injured midweek Champions League, then I'll probably just wild card and save myself the trouble. But but and because the thing is, if Haaland does, then I'm going to be really short. I got Patterson injured, Isaac injured, and they only have Williams to come in, so it's not looking great for me. Obviously, I have KDB and Foden, which is already good. Yeah, but Ward-Prowse, who is unlikely to do anything, so I might even consider bringing in Williams. And but it's not looking good because even TAA is not looking a good pick. Andreas is not looking good without Mitrovic. So and Tony plays Newcastle. Maybe a wildcard is option now. Who knows? Let's see. Yeah, it's hard one.
But at least you already bring Haaland in. I think that's the move that I think
Yeah,
after
right
seeing
after.
that match,
Yeah,
after seeing that
unless
match.
I stupidly wildcard the whole thing and then somehow Haaland disappears again.
Oh
No, no, no.
no no.
I don't think that's possible. Yeah. So I think yeah. Um, it is what
I
it
think
is.
you can survive at least 10, 11, and 12. Maybe you got three asset Man City there. Then
Yeah,
next week against Liverpool, which like you mentioned, not the hardest game on paper right now. So I think you can still hold, and yeah, I think the right thing to do is to bring in Haaland, even though at the expense of Kane. Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay. All right. Good stuff. We go to Afos team. What's in your plan? Yeah.
uh, I'm
Mitrovic.
not I'm not quite sure. I need to get know what's the Mitrovic status, whether it's out for quite some time or it's just out for 1 week or so. In terms of the forward in that price bracket, Mitrovic is still the one who have excellent shots and also inside the box shots. If it is short term, I would most probably just bench him and play address instead. Save myself to transfer for game week 11 to address the game week 12 blank. Otherwise, I might be looking to save some money in the bank and bringing in Solanke instead.
Okay, if that's really injury long term lah, that you might do
Yeah.
Mitrovic to Solanke lah. But as I am a Solanke owner, please try to avoid him. If let's say you can do that lah. All right. Okay, that's my
Or maybe I
advice.
just take Azmin's advice to bring in Mope instead.
But it's tough fixture coming up. That's why. Man U, Spurs, then Newcastle, right? And then Crystal Palace. So that's the thing. That's why we really do not think that's a good advice. Solanke, yes, fixture is there, but Bournemouth is not there. Okay, fair. I go to my team. I think I am almost as the same boat as Afos, which I have Mitrovic. Okay, Guita will be playing against Leeds at home. Hopefully, got a clean sheet. I know TAA, Cancelo, and Trippier will be on my back line. Then Salah, Madison, Martinelli, and Zaha will be in midfield. Then Solanke, I will play him against Leicester. Haaland as my captain, and Mitrovic. Like as Afos mentioned, if Mitrovic is like 1 week injury, I would definitely play Guil atau Andreas as my sub and bench him because he got Bournemouth at home next week. But if it is a long term, I want to do like Azmin, aggressive. I might do this. I take out Salah and Mitrovic, and I bring in Kane and Foden or Bowen. Why not? Even though it's not the best thing doing after just wildcarding last week, but that could be, I take a -4, but that could be the pick moving forward actually. So I just, why not?
You have the funds to do Salah, Mitrovic to Kane for them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Salah is at 12.8, Kane at 11.4.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was that different. Okay.
Yeah. So I think I can do that money. If let's say I don't have, I think I can, yes. I tried it before. Let me try.
11.4. Yeah, you can fit in.
Yep. Just nice, I suppose. Yep.
Just nice. Yep.
But I want to monitor the Champions League match. Then we'll think about that, and also the press conference by Marco Silva. So that could be the aggressive move, or the worst thing is don't do any move and just play my bench and see next week. So that's my plan for this week. Okay. We shall see in the deadline stream. Before we go off, we touch a bit on our FPL Jedi League. Why not, right? The league code is Y1N8EH. And the top of our league is Kuala Lumpur City at 569 points, owned by Helmi Johari Johar MFF. So if it's around here, we'll definitely give a shout out. Okay, Helmi, you're on top in our league with 569 points. And your team is on your right, our right, okay? Pope, Cancelo, Trippier, James, and who knows, Cresswell. 5 points. He got Madison, he got KDB, and Martinelli, he played 4-3-3. He got Tony. He need to be concerned of Mitrovic, but he has Haaland and he get 13. So this is his team main. Anything that you want to say about Helmi team?
No, I think I guess the question marks are if he wants to improve his team is like Cresswell. Although they did keep a clean sheet the other day, is West Ham going to push on? FOS raised a doubt over James and viability as a long-term pick, and on my side, of course, Cancelo as a, is he still viable? But other than that, you got free scoring people there. You got Haaland, KDB, Madison, and even
I tell
Tony.
you what. If Helmi is hearing our stream, I'll play Bailey in game week 10 against Forest.
Yep, definitely.
Definitely.
Yep,
Yeah.
to bench Mitrovic and play Bailey.
Yeah. And can save his transfer. I think Bailey is really good option for game week 10.
Okay.
Okay.
Agree.
So, Afaf, you want to say anything about Helmi team?
No, nothing much. It's just the same idea as yours. If it is my team, I'll play Bailey and bench Mitrovic. Save myself transfer for next
Okay.
week.
All right. Fair. Yes.
So you guys only 4 points difference. Is that correct?
Yes, we are 4
Yeah.
points different, and we are 30,000 places different by only 4 points. So it's still a lot to play. And you can see Helmi up front there by what? 13 points?
Yeah.
So I'll be welcoming you to take hit this week.
Let's close the gap.
We'll fight on the equal ground. No?
You see.
Just a quick shout out to one of our regular Facebook commenters, Paddy Pine, there at number 10. Yeah, so he's making ground as well.
Yeah, Paddy.
Good stuff.
A
And
lot of things.
well done,
really
everyone in the top 10.
tight game. And second place, and of course at third place, and we are 4 points difference. So it's going to be tight. We're going to play this all season long, so it's still a lot to play. Still like 30 games to play. Yeah, so a lot of happening in future. All right. Last but not least, just not mention on the deadline will be at 8:30 p.m. on Saturday because the match will start at 10 p.m. So if you're around here, if you like our stream, do give a hit on our like button and subscribe to our FPL Jedi Show channel so you can receive our early notification whenever we are live. So I go to Azmin first. Your last word before we end our stream.
Well, unlike last weekend, I will be around and on.
Oh,
Saturday.
I forgot, Azmin. Sorry,
Yeah.
I did not go to the question. Sorry.
okay.
Let's go to the question.
We go to the questions.
Okay, Arakan FPL did mention, thanks for the advice on playing David Raya Haaland. All of you helped me to get your good brother. You got at the 100 points club.
David
So
Raya.
well done to Arakan FPL as always. Okay. And we go to the next question. First question to you, Azmin first. KDB to Foden, good move. Would you do that?
I think I would, honestly. If I had to choose between the two, it's just that Foden is been entrusted with the goal scoring, and Pep, and he's no longer a occasional starter. He's such a regular starter now, and I think that KDB just doesn't. The pressure is no longer on him to carry the team as it used to be. Yeah, so I think that's a good move. And I just want to address Raka FPL just now. He congratulating you guys on all the advice, but then he's a good player himself, and he gives a lot of advice on his YouTube channel. So thanks, Raka FPL. You're also a good contributor to the community. So good stuff.
Yeah, right. Go to Afos next question. Zaha or Madison for game week 10? If you need to choose one of them.
I will pick Madison. I'll pick Madison at the moment because even though Zaha is the one guy to get lots of points or to get attention for Crystal Palace, but I think in terms of Madison is much more better and all-rounder player.
I like that you mentioned about Madison, but if I can get both, I definitely bring both players in. So next question to Azmin. Zaha versus Leeds or Bowen versus Fulham. If he needs to bring one of them in, which one would you bring in? When taking into consideration up to World Cup lah.
That's a tough one. Zaha. I'll probably go Zaha. Yeah.
Okay.
Bowen doesn't take penalties for West Ham.
I think Bowen take penalty for West Ham.
I thought it was Rice. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it could be Rice, right? How about Alphonse? Yeah, maybe Rice.
No,
But
I
I think
think if from the mistaken, Watkins take penalty, right?
No, for this is West Ham.
West
Oh,
Ham.
sorry, West Ham. There is Antonio.
Yeah, I believe Bowen, but we shall see. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
But Zaha. Anyway, I'll still
Okay,
go
all
Zaha.
right. Okay,
I
fair. You can save 1 million there and spend somewhere else. All right. Okay,
But I'll
good.
pick Bowen.
Okay, fair. You have Bowen. All right. So I go to Alphonse. Which pair with Haaland? Foden, KDB, or KDB Cancelo, or Foden Cancelo? You pick which one, the two Man City player that you bring in.
to to pair with Haaland.
That means that Haaland is the pick
This
from Man City.
Afos has Haaland. Afos has KDB Cancelo. I have Foden KDB.
Yeah, ideally, I would have I would pair Haaland with Foden and KDB because Cancelo is yet to be proven to have, yeah, in terms of that attacking was Foden has a lot improves a lot, even though he wanted to score goals on his own earlier of this season, but I think he started to yeah to play at flank and pass cut it to Haaland, and also he's also a goal threat. Yeah, I'll pick Foden and KDB.
Which is Azmin having right now lah. The partnership
Yeah,
to midfield KDB, Foden, and also Haaland. Okay, I think maybe that's the best because we are still doubting Cancelo output. But in terms of structure, maybe I don't know. Because we really have really competition in midfield, right? 8 million, 7 million spot. Madison, Bowen, Zaha, who else in the frame? Say coming, I don't know. Later maybe Mount, Diaz from Liverpool. If they say that team pop up, so just a lot option, and yeah, maybe like if they say you stick for the KDB, you're going to go cheap lah at the back, right?
yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
Azmin, Jesus. He has Jesus. Hold or sell versus Liverpool.
Hold. There's no reason not to sell him. None.
Right, short answer, but I think the right one. And how about you, Afos? I think this is the last question. Jesus, if you have him coming into game week 12 blank, you hold him until the game week 12?
Yeah, if I have him, I would hold him. It's just another 2 weeks for another blank week for Arsenal. Just run through Liverpool. He might score, considering how what's Liverpool performance in the moment.
Okay, fair. All right, we can wrap up our stream. Go first to Azmin.
Oh, okay. With all the Europe matches, this again, don't transfer. Sorry, I know I transferred Haaland early, but that's an exceptional case. Save your transfers. Wait, just wait.
All right,
Again, just another reminder.
Afos, your last word.
Yeah, good luck to all the managers. Have a nice game. Hope you enjoy your rank at the moment, but it's still early. You still have a lot of time to catch up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm speaking on behalf of all the managers at the bottom, who are like me. It's no reason for you to stop playing because there's still plenty of time and you can still move up the ranks and and continue to enjoy your football. Don't get too stressed too much about your scores. It's just try to go back to the basics and keep it simple. What should you do better? Are you taking too many risks? I mean, in my case, not going with Haaland was just huge, especially considering he had been performing and I still was too stubborn. And that's the other thing. Don't be too stubborn. Except when you made a mistake and bring it.
Well, we have that stubbornness in every one of us. Okay, definitely. I also stubborn in some picks because we pick a player, say, and we expect him to deliver, but did not. But we want him to continue to deliver. So those are the
Just
things.
hold him.
Yeah, I remember like Mark Suddens, right? He also stubborn in terms of his pick.
Yeah.
He mentioned that maybe said you don't want to go Salah or so on in the previous season, but that thing can happen, right? If let's say Salah perform, this turnaround is not Salah, it's Haaland now. Haaland has proved. I think I can say he's really essential now in everyone team. When you build your team, especially after World Cup, Haaland should be on your first team sheet. Okay, and then
I'll
after
break him. I'll break Alan. I brought him in. Okay.
Okay,
But City are on
yeah.
track to break records at this point, in terms of goals, if they keep going like this.
Yeah. Thank you guys to all whoever joined the stream. Okay, thank you for watching. Hopefully we see you guys again in our deadline stream. Take care, stay safe, and we see each other again. Bye bye.